Alright, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming to you this very gloomy, rainy Sunday morning, uh, August 9th, 9 a.m. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. As always, first and foremost, like and subscribe. Let's grow the Meanie Army. Uh, I want to give some shout outs to some new subscribers. First of all, we've got Roberto C. He subscribed a week ago. It's been a week since I put up a video. Sorry, it's been a rough week. I've been beat. The weather hasn't helped. It's been hot and warm and crazy. The weather's been all over the place. So anyway, Roberto C, thank you for subscribing, sir. I hope you enjoy the channel. And if there's anything you want to see, let me know. New subscriber, Willow of Blades. Awesome name. Her profile picture looks like she's having a lot of fun. Very cool. I love to see females in the Meanie Army. We can't do it without you guys. So thank you for subscribing, Willow of Blades. Also a very cool name. New subscriber, Rhett R. Also another cool image. Looks like a miniature. I really hate the YouTube profile pic because you can't zoom in on them. So it's really hard to see what it is. So Rhett R. also subscribed about a week ago. So thank you, sir. I'm assuming it's a sir. We're going to go into comments in a minute. But first, and then I think we have two more. Yes, Eric R. 23 hours ago. Thank you, sir, for subscribing. And 75 Allen, thank you for subscribing a couple hours ago as well. Thank you guys very much for subscribing. It means a lot. Also, you'll see at the top of the video here, the banner there is my Patreon. It's $5 a month. Basically, it gets you on my Discord channel. It gets you a special color of blue that nobody else gets except for Patreon subscribers. It's $5 a month. It's peanuts. Doesn't probably hurt your finances very much, but it helps me out tremendously with the channel. So thank you guys for all my current Patreon and future Patreon subscribers. Appreciate you guys a lot. So I wanted to do a quick, this video is going to be all over the place. We're not going to be focusing on one specific RPG or tabletop game. We're going to be kind of talking a little bit about everything. I haven't done a video in a week, so I want to give you guys some content, some food for thought, something to chew on, and maybe put some discussions down in the bottom. So one of the things that caught me last week, Paizo, in conjunction with this other company, has put out their own coffee, which I think is super cool. I know a lot of gamers, hey, I got my Java right here. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts decaf kind of guy. Feel free to send me a bag if you like. I love this stuff. I can't get enough of it. Those that don't know, when I turned 40, 13 years ago, I had 3 heart attacks in a row thanks to my lovely ex-wife and putting me over the edge and just bad health and everything. And I'm a lot better today. And so no need to go any further there. But I got off of regular coffee, obviously, and went to decaf and a little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar. As my father-in-law says, I ruin a good cup of coffee. So cheers, everybody. Good morning, broast, whatever. You might hear my little guy in the background. He's 3.5 years old. Mama's sleeping in this morning. We had a rough night last night. It's very hot and muggy here. We don't have central air, so we have AC units and fans going everywhere. And it just could not keep up because the rain just made everything super humid. Ugly, ugly, ugly weather. So anyway, to get back on topic here, Paizo is in conjunction with this company, and forgive me, I don't know the name of the company that's doing the coffee because I don't want to have all these different windows open. But they're in conjunction with Paizo, and they're making coffee, and I am all for that. I think it's great. What I am against is outrageous prices. It's the reason I don't go to Starbucks. I don't like Starbucks. I don't go to Caribou Coffee. I think the prices are inflated. Caribou Coffee is a local chain we have up here in Minnesota. And I personally don't think their coffee tastes that great. If you have one and you like it, great. That's why we call it personal opinion. Everybody has one. But they're doing this goblin grind and stuff like this, and it's a bag of beans that you buy. You have to grind it yourself. Okay, no problem. I can go out and buy a grinder. But $20 for a 1 pound bag of coffee, $19.99 for a bag of coffee. That to me is criminal. I get a pound of pre-ground Dunkin' Donuts coffee for under $6. I usually have a coupon. I'm a smart shopper. I know it sounds a lot like I'm always begging for money on the channel. I hope it doesn't come across that way, but money's tight for everybody, and this is just a little way that I supplement my income and help my family keep food on the table in these hard times. So I love the concept. I think it's great, but $20 for a pound of unground coffee, ridiculous. I think you should be ashamed of yourselves. That's just outrageous, cost in my opinion. So, I think a year and a half ago, I did a review of Chin, which is a martial arts, the Warring Kingdoms martial arts RPG like Wire Fu and all that, but set in feudal, China. It's a great game. If you haven't checked it out, go back and check my review in the archives. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on my son, make sure he's not getting in anything. But Spack and Tim had commented that they played a campaign about 3 years ago and for over a year. This Saturday we go again because we all decided this was one of the best RPG experiences we ever had. That's awesome. Spec and Tim, thank you for posting on the channel. I hope you're a subscriber. If not, please think about subscribing. It helps out the channel. And I review all kinds of crazy, weird games that I come across. So thanks for the comment, and I'm glad you guys are diving back in. And I hope he'll come back and post and let us know how his gaming session went, because I think Chen is one of those really good games. It's Qin, but I think in Chinese the Q is pronounced as Ch. So hopefully that's correct. I don't know. Mike Morrison commented, thanks for the clarity on some of these rules. Over 2 years ago, I had done a Modiphius Entertainment video where I talked about the different 2D20 rule sets. Because at the time, they had Conan, Star Trek, and Mutant Chronicles. Their line has since expanded a little bit. They've got John Carter, Warlord of Mars. They're coming out with the Dune RPG, if you're a big Dune fan, Herbert Dune. If that's your jam. I kind of enjoy it, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm on the beta test for it, so I'm pretty excited. I've read the rules. Haven't had a chance to play it yet. This damn pandemic is messing everything up. Nerdy Ogre, awesome name. I don't know if he's a subscriber. I think he might be. I'm not sure. But anyway, he posted on my Savage Worlds Rifts set 1, because now there's another set out for Rifts. So this was about over a year ago. He posted 3 days ago, and basically the gist of his comment is he totally disagrees with my opinion of Savage Worlds. And you know what? That's what's great about this world. We can have differences of opinions and still meet in the middle ground. So Nerdy Ogre, I agree with your comment, but I will politely agree to disagree. I think Savage Worlds works really well for Rifts. Judging by his comment, it doesn't sound like he's actually played. He's just read the rules. Nerdy, please come on and correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm a big fan of, if you haven't played the game, you really can't bag on it. That's why a lot of my reviews, I haven't played the games because I don't have a group to play with that wants to play these different games. And so I just do an overall review. I read the rules. I read a little bit of the fluff. I look at the art, the quality of the book, the quality of the art, the cost. And then I try to pass that on to you guys so that you can make an informed decision on whether or not this would be a game that you and your group would like to play and or own for your collection. As you can see, I have quite the collection. That's the Shelf of Fame. It is 8 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and there's about 15 boxes on either side of me that are full of RPG stuff. So I have a couple of books. I had posted a comment on the Fantasy Flight. They had done their Gen Con like Q&A type deal, and they were posting that they were going to bring back Midnight. For those that don't know, Midnight was Fantasy Flight's early foray into the 3.5 genre of D&D, and it was quite well received. They put out a number of books, not too many. I think they put out, I want to say 3 or 4. They put out the core book, and they might have put out 1 or 2 splat books. I don't own a copy of Midnight, believe it or not. I've always wanted a copy, and I've never been able to find a copy. It's out of print, and it's very hard to get a hold of. So if you have one sitting around on the shelf and you don't want it, contact me. I will buy it off of you, or at a reasonable price, of course. Or I have it as a PDF. It's not the same. I want it physically sitting on my shelf, because Midnight, if you don't know, Midnight was Fantasy Flight's take on what if Sauron from Lord of the Rings had won. Now it's different characters because obviously they can't do that IP, but it was basically what if the bad guys won and you were under their rule. And as player characters, you play the role of heroes, and magic is like forbidden. You're not allowed to have magical artifacts, magical weapons, magical trinkets. You can't cast magic unless you work for the Overlord or whatever his name is. I don't even remember. It's been so long. But the point of the game is you were like this underground resistance, and one of the big things, they had these like demon dogs that could sniff out magic, and once they got your trail, there was no getting away from them. And orcs, are, of course, were the big bad guys, because they were the bad guys. Patrick Barnes, a subscriber to the channel and great supporter of the channel, let me know that I did a review of the Demon Gate Companion, which had come out in PDF, and and this was a week ago. He let me know that it was actually available. At the time that I had made the video, the book was not available as a hardback book or a physical book. You can only get it as a PDF. So he was kind enough to let me know that it was available as a hardback book, and I have since gone and ordered it. And the reason I could do that is because of you guys. If you'll see at the bottom of the page there, I have a link to my affiliate program. For those that don't know, I am affiliated with DriveThruRPG because I do review a lot of their products, and so they have graciously agreed to give me a little kickback. So when you go purchase something, no extra cost to you, if you use that link down there, and then you go to that URL and then you just search like you normally would for whatever product you're looking for, you can check out, and I get a little kickback. So it's thanks to guys like you guys that I'm able to buy certain things. Like I was able to get the Demon Gate Companion as a hardback, so that'll be coming probably sometime next week or the week after. It's print on demand from DriveThruRPG. I am going to raise my desk. I did go out about 2 weeks ago and I bought a sit-to-stand Veridesk, and I got to tell you guys, greatest thing since sliced bread. So we're going to raise this. There we go. So, there it is in action. Look at that. That's just sexy. So it is super cool. I'm very happy. I'm going to move these books because they are heavy. It is raining like cats and dogs outside, guys, so I apologize if the microphone's picking up some rain splatter or anything in the background. Hopefully it's not. I'm going to angle this up a little bit so you don't see my big fat belly because, well, I'm a fat old guy. Wow, what's been going on? I wanted to talk about a couple different things. My Pathfinder game, we've got some new players. The old group kind of fell apart, but we got some new players and it kind of came back together, and then we fell apart again. It's been crazy. This coronavirus is just no fun, guys. So hopefully we can get back together and play soon. Schedules being what they are. Summer's almost over here in Minnesota. It's been a lot cooler, although the last 2 days it's been very swamp ass. But hopefully the cool weather's going to come in. We've got a storm today. It's nothing but rain all day. In fact, it's 9 o'clock, 9:15, and it's pouring down. So a couple of the things I wanted to go over is the format of the channel. I always start out my channel by saying like and subscribe, and basically my wife pointed this out to me, is that I'm begging for money. At least that's what it sounds like. And I want to address that because I don't want to sound like I'm begging for money, and I hope it doesn't come across. And if it does, I apologize. That was never the intent. The intent of this channel is this is a hobby that I love. I enjoy. It is my sanity. And my dream is to get this up to where I can do this as a full-time job. I'm 53 years old. I ain't getting any younger. And what I would like to do is once I retire from my normal working day job, I would like to do this as a full-time job. Meaning I would post 2 or 3 times a week. I would do some chats and some streaming with game developers and stuff and talk about the products that are coming and just make it into a well-rounded channel, but still maintain that quaintness of an informal YouTube chat. One of my viewers gave me the greatest compliment because somebody had posted that I rambled on for 10 minutes and didn't even know what the video was about. And I had made a comment about it, and then one of my viewers had come back, and I think it was Patrick Barnes. It might have been Justin one of my other viewers, maybe even Miguel, um, but they had pointed out that it's like having a conversation with an old friend talking about your hobby. And in these trying times right now with the pandemic and everything that's going on, being able to talk to a friend, even if it's just listening to someone babble on the screen, might be enough to keep your sanity because it's crazy out there right now, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. So, to the people that don't like the talking head syndrome, I understand. Move on. You don't have to like and subscribe. If it's not your deal, I get it. If the channel content is not what you like, I get it. But the point of this is I'm gonna rearrange how I do things on the channel, and I'm gonna throw in the begging at the end of the video. So that way, once the content is over with, if you don't want to see that, you can just click off. I mean, the Patreon link is at the top, the drive-through link is at the bottom. It's easy enough. It's in the show notes. It's easy enough to click on it. If you want to support the channel, you will. If you don't want to, you don't. If you just want to consume the content, that's fine. That's what I put it up here for. It's more for my sanity and for my enjoyment than anything else. Now, again, moving further down the line, once I hit 1,000+ subscribers and I can be monetized or whatever, it might start drawing in a little bit of income. And hey, that's great. I hope that happens. But it is what it is. And if it never happens, that's fine. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And obviously by the comments and everything, you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. So with that out of the way, we're going to dive into what today's little chat is about. And one of the other things I did want to throw out is like maybe one night a week or every other week, maybe do a live session where I talk to you guys and you guys ask me questions and we talk and we have a discussion live about tabletop games. What you're seeing in the industry, what you want to see, games you're kickstarting, and maybe just we'll open it up on Discord. And maybe we'll have a couple people come into the Discord channel and we'll do a little video conference via Discord. Seems to work really well. I've done it in the past. I have a monthly show that I go, what about this game? I've done 2 so far and getting ready to do another one here in August, probably next week, I think, or maybe the week after. We're trying to keep it a month out so it's not, because they tend to be like over an hour video, and that's a long time for a lot of YouTube people to watch. Yeah, I call YouTube the short attention span theater because that's really what it is. You start watching, you're interested in monarch butterflies, and at the end of your 45-minute video session, you're watching hot chicks on motorcycles and everything in between, and that's the joy of YouTube. So some people like that, some people don't. I do. So that's let me know what you think about that. If you think it's going to be cool to do a video chat, and I'm not saying we have to have 200 people in the chat or whatever. Just a couple people that want to come on, don't mind sharing their screen or doing a video chat, so we can talk and dialogue and engage each other, and talk about the industry, the hobby, what we see, what we like, what we don't like, that kind of thing, and just generally shoot the shit for about an hour. So anyway, with that, let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Today's video du jour is I want to talk about some games, and in this case, four games that I think don't get enough love. And I've done reviews of these games, so you can always go back in the archives and check that. But if this is your first time to the channel or you're just checking these things out, do yourself a favor, pick these up on drive-thru. You can use my affiliate link. You don't have to. But pick them up either at your local game store. I'm always a big fan of supporting your local game store. And if you do, tell them Mr. Mean sent you, and they're going to go, who the fuck is Mr. Mean? You can tell them about my video. Maybe we'll get another subscriber. So anyway, so these are 4 games, no particular order, no preference, no number 1 to number 4. It's just 4 games that I grabbed off my shelf that I've been looking at over the last couple of months that I really want to play, and just don't have a group or don't have the means to do it. But I think they deserve a closer look. And so I wanted to maybe bring a little more highlight to them, maybe drive up some sales on drive-thru and for the content creators, because a lot of these games are single people working out of their garage with a couple of friends. These are not the Watsies and the Palladiums and the Paizo Publishing or Fantasy Flight. These are guys like you and I that are, work a day job and come home and work on this passion project. So the first one is one I've covered recently, Demon Gate. I just did a review of the companion. I physically got the book thanks to you guys for using the affiliate link. I was able to order the book, the physical book. It did come a little banged up. The top here got a nice divot in it, but it's not too bad. So I complain about Amazon being jerks with their shipping and damaging all my books, but DriveThru did it as well. So, and DriveThru didn't ship this. DriveThru sends the order off to whoever their printing company is. They print it and then they send it to me. So, but this is the physical hardback book. This is a very dark game. It uses a full set of polyhedrals. Go check my review of it. And we'll talk where I talk about the game and the setting and everything. But I just wanted to maybe bring this. The art in here is fantastic. It's a like I said, I've got the hardback book. I actually printed a character sheet last night, so I want to sit down and physically make a character. Roll20 has a form fillable character, but I'm not a big fan of Roll20, so I'm just going to do the old pen and paper route. But this is a great game. If you're fans of Shadow of the Demon Lord, Warhammer, those kind of dark games, Midnight, this might be the game up your alley with us. If you're not a fan of D20, D&D, you want a different rule set and mechanics and a very in-depth character creation process, this might be the game for you. So definitely worth checking out. This is a big book. They have it as print on demand. I haven't physically seen it in a game store, but I don't have any decent game stores around here that carry current product. We're talking 454 pages. The one ding that I will give Rogue, who is the gentleman who made this game, he's affiliated with the Blades and Blasters YouTube channel, where they do play a lot of not the popular RPGs, and they do have a play session that's up. I'm actually listening to it. I started listening to it last night when I found it. So Brandon Williams, aka Rogue, he is the guy who wrote this and designed it, and the layout's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I love the parchment quality of the paper. It's kind of got that yellowish tint. With a name like Demon Gate, you can pretty much assume that this is a shitty world, and it is. You're eking out a survival, and you're trying to live in the apocalypse, this fantasy apocalypse. So, very cool game, in my opinion. Doesn't get enough love. Go check it out if you want a complete game. There's a new companion that's just come out. So there's a little more support for different characters and classes and everything. So definitely give it a check. You can buy the companion in hardback as well, or I believe softback. And of course, as a PDF. You can get this as a PDF as well. I have to thank Jay at Feral Games, because he's the one who turned me on to this. He had backed the Kickstarter and sent me a picture, and I love the cover. I really thought it was very evocative, and I like cool art in my games. So when he sent me a copy, or he sent me the picture of this saying, "Ooh, look what I got," I just had to get it. And so he saw that I was goo over it, and so he reached out to, I guess, Rogue, and they sent me a free copy. So, but then I did go out and buy a copy, and this is my copy. So the initial PDF was sent to me for a review, and I believe I state that in my review. But I liked it so much, I went out and bought a copy for my collection. So and let you know, Mr. Me puts his money where his mouth is. So that's Demon Gate, fantasy, apocalyptic, dark, heroic, I think. I would call it heroic. Your characters are somewhat powerful, but you're in a very deadly world, dealing with very ugly, monsters, demons, that kind of thing. Very cool bestiary in here. So definitely check it out if you like that dark, apocalyptic fantasy. I think it's one that you'll enjoy. So the next one on the list is one that I love, and I really want to play it. I think it's a novel idea. They came out with it as a first edition, which is more kind of like a board game, and it didn't do very well. So they took that feedback. They went back to Kickstarter, and they were able to get funded. They're from Spain. It's Burning Games, and it's Faith, the sci-fi RPG. This is a great game. I backed both versions. I backed the box set that they did, but that was more like a Kickstarter game, a board game. I backed that on Kickstarter, and of course it came with all these cards, because you have physical cards that represent the equipment that you have. So you bought some grenades. The GM will give you the grenade card, and so you have a physical representation of what you have. But they did a second edition. They went to Kickstarter. They cleaned it up a little bit, cleaned up the mechanics and some things that didn't quite work, and came back with a hardback, gorgeous art, and most of the art was the same that was in the original book, but I'm sure they did add some new art. You can get this off of DriveThruRPG as a PDF, or you can go to burninggames.com, I believe it is. I believe it's burninggames.com, or you just do a Google search for Burning Games, and you'll be able to find it. I'll put links down in the doobly-doo for all of these to their websites and or where you can buy them. And I did the Kickstarter for this. I got it in the mail and it was damaged. The book was all mangled. The corners were all banged up and everything, and I was not happy. And so they reached out to me immediately, and they sent me a new. They actually sent it before they reached out to me and said, "Hey, a new one's on the way." So I took the damaged one and I sent it to the local high school, and I lived in Beaumont, Texas, so they could. I donated it to their charitable group, so that because they teach kids how to play role playing games and stuff like that. So good company, Burning Games, really nice, very active on their. Well, they were active. I assume they have a Discord channel. I haven't checked. That's probably something I'll do because I would love to get a game involved. What makes this game unique is it uses cards instead of dice. And you say, well, that's not unique, John. Savage Worlds uses cards. Well, Savage Worlds only uses cards for certain things. Your task resolution is cards. Every player gets a 54 deck of cards that are specific to this game. You could use a regular poker deck and they give you rules, but this has its own card deck and its own suits. And it's very cool. So definitely one that doesn't get enough love. Has a companion book, Ting Tang, which is an area that you can play in and stuff, and you get different choices. So very cool character creation, very simple character sheet, very simple game. Mechanics are not hard, but it's all card driven. You don't use dice in any way, shape, or form. So this is another one. Definitely highly recommend this. It doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. Go check it out. I think it's a very cool game. It's a very novel idea. And if you have your players that are into cards or whatever, your Pokemon, your Magic players, this is a chance for them to flip more cards and have fun with it. So definitely check this out. It's a really good one. Burning Games, Faith, the Sci-Fi RPG. The art in here is fantastic. Go back and check my review where I show some examples of the art. So. All right. So another one, another Kickstarter project that I found way after. I did not back it on Kickstarter. I found it, I remember, miniaturemarket.com, shameless plug for them. I buy a lot of books off of them because they usually have some good prices. You do have to pay shipping, but I think if you go over a certain order total, shipping is free. I never go because I never order like $100 worth of books at a time. I just order one or two. But anyway, they have decent prices and they have a decent inventory. And I found this, Unity. This is a fantasy. God, it's hard to. I guess you'd kind of call it just a techno-punk fantasy game because there are guns, but they're magic. And it's just a very, very unique world. It's distributed by Modiphius, so that's good. You can get a copy of it. You can go on Modiphius's website right now and get it. If you search the web, you can find there is an intro adventure that was produced for the Kickstarter. Writing, design, and layout and production was done by Anson Tran. Additional writing and short stories by Astra Crompton. And principal artwork is by I can't even say that name. Nguyen Dang Hong Try. And then Ralph Lamatan. Cover artwork was by Ralph Lamatan. And then there's some additional artists. The art in here is fantastic. Go back in the archive, check my review. But this is another one where it has a very unique rules mechanic system. Very unique character creation. It's kind of like tiers. When you progress, you get tiers that allow you to do different things. So a rogue is going to be very rogue. A frontline warrior is going to be very much a tank. A cleric type character, a healer is going to be very much a healer. I almost akin this to World of Warcraft. You have your tank, your DPS, and your healer, and it's kind of like that. But it's just a very unique setting. The art is evocative. The quality of the book, you can see it's got that semi-gloss cover. And then the rest of it's matte. It's a really, that's the big queen on the back there. It's a great book. Unfortunately, I think the company is dead. They've gone out of business, or I don't know. Their website hasn't been updated since the beginning of the pandemic, I think in February of this year. Um, but the link to buy their game is still broken on their website. At least it was last week when I checked. But you can get it off of Modiphius's website. So again, super cool game, very unique setting, very unique characters, and it's sad that it doesn't look like it's still in production. But the good thing is, it's a one-stop shop. Everything you need is in this book. Um, I mean, would it be nice to have more Splat books? Of course, but you don't actually have to have them. And we're looking at 365 pages plus a character sheet. So you can go online and find the character sheet if you just do a search for Unity. So very cool game. Definitely check it out. It has Furions, which not the Furions from like the Vin Diesel movies, but very close. They're somewhat bestial looking, and it's basically Wolverine. Um, give them a sword and let them go. They're berserkers, but they're intelligent, and they do have thinkers and magic users. But of course, you can always play type and be the berserker, but you could be a magic user and a Furion. So very cool. It's its own world. It's its own. Uh, I forgot the word you use for gods, but it's mystic realm and everything. It's its own deity, its own gods, its own demons, and everything like that. So I can't. Pantheon. There we go. So everything you need is in this book. So definitely check it out and get it off of Modiphius's website. And then last but not least is an oldie but a goodie that just doesn't see enough play as far as I'm concerned. And it's funny because some of the big wigs in the industry have worked on this. Shane Hensley, Dave Wetzel, Ed Stark, Shatterzone. This is the old West End Games. Priestess intermediary got the license to reprint it. So they didn't change anything in the book. I don't even think they cleaned up typos. They just printed. I have the old box set of this, and I opened it up one day to do a review because when I was starting my channel, and it was so old and the glue was so dried out and brittle that the pages just literally fell out because it was an old glue bound book, softback. And so I went online and I saw that Priestess was reprinting it and made it as a hardback, and so I picked it up. This is a great system, super easy. You don't need a whole lot of stuff to play this game. This is a self-contained world right here. This is all you need to play. He has, I think, all of the supplements on his website, www.piggames.com, pigames.net. So piggames.net, pigames.net. Awesome stuff, guys. If you want a good hard sci-fi game, you want to play The Expanse, but you don't like Fantasy Age or Modern Age rules. You don't like the age system from Green Ronin. You can totally do it in this. You want to do Star Wars? You can do it in this. You want to do Battlestar Galactica? You can do it in this. There's a bunch of aliens. It's got everything, space travel, space combat. Everything's in here. And of course, he's got a ton of supplement books that he's got the license to reprint, and they're just doing cool stuff with it. So definitely go check it out. pigames.net. Priestess Intermediary. Great stuff. The owner's on MeWe. He pops into my channel every so often. He doesn't pop into the channel, but he does pop in on MeWe and give me thanks or stuff. So I'll let him know I did a little shout out for PI Games. Check it out, guys. Shatterzone, a classic D6 system. Super easy, very fun, very fast, and you can't go wrong. This is a classic, and it's very well done. The book, I'm very happy with the reprint of the book because it's on nice clear white paper. It's easy to read. The art is the original art from the book, but it's just a little crisper, for lack of a better word, and that's probably because it's not a 20-plus-year-old softback book that I'm looking at. This is nice clear white paper. It's not yellow or tarnished in any way by age, and it's got everything you need to make a character, so it's a very fun game. So that's the 4 games that I had that just grabbed me off the top of my head, and I said, man, these games need some more love. They need some attention. Are you playing any of these? Are you interested in any of these? I'll put links down in the doobly-doo. This video will go out later today. It takes a little while to render and then upload to YouTube. So then I'll post it on my various channels on MeWe and, of course, on my Discord channel. So we'll get into the end of the video here. Post your comments down below. I try to read every one of them. I try to give them a thumbs up or a thumb down. Mostly it's a thumbs up. And then a little heart, and then I know YouTube lets you know that, hey, John liked your comment, or somebody liked your comment. I don't think it tells you who, but if you get a heart, it's probably from me, because that's my big thing. And a lot of times, if I feel compelled, I will comment to your comment if it's appropriate. But if you're just saying, hey, thanks for the content, or but I didn't like that, I probably won't. Yeah. But I'll at least give it a thumbs up. I want to acknowledge you for acknowledging me, so I thank you for leaving comments. It means a lot, believe it or not. It gives me something to do, believe it or not, and it's fun. It's fun to read the comments. So, any of those 4 games spark you? Do you have any of those 4 games? Let me know. Like I said, I'll put links down in the doobly-doo. I'm on Patreon. It's right there at the top of the video. If you buy any of these through drive-thru, consider using my affiliate link. It puts a little bit of cash in my pocket and doesn't cost you anything extra. I'm on ZellyPay. If you don't want to do the Patreon route and you're in the United States, you can send a donation to the channel through ZellyPay at jpolak@gmail.com. I'm on Discord. There's a link on my YouTube channel that you can get to it. I'm on PayPal PayMe. You can send if you're out of the United States and you want to send a donation, you can do it that way. So I hope that is everything, guys. I thank you for spending your Sunday morning with me, or in this case, your Sunday afternoon by the time I get this uploaded and everything. So I just wanted to get out a video because I hadn't done it. I want to give a big shout out to my Patreons. Thank you guys for supporting me. If you go on to the Discord channel, you'll see my Patreons are highlighted in blue, their names. So when you subscribe to me via Patreon, that's one of the perks you get. The other perk is I will try, if I'm running a game online, I will reach out to you if you're a Patreon and give you first dibs to play in the game. I was going to release the videos early, a week early. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, because the content's not any different for if you're a subscriber or you're not a subscriber. And with my job and everything, sometimes I have to go a week before I put out a video. So it would just make it too much of a delay for everybody. And I don't think that's fair. But I do appreciate the subscriptions, and you'll get priority. If I run any games online, I'll reach out to you. Which I'm planning on doing one soon, obviously. And if we do that video chat like on a Wednesday night or whatever night works, you'll get first priority to be invited into the Discord channel to be on video or audio if you don't have a camera, and participate in those chats. And then we'll probably open up the YouTube live stream and take questions from there as well. But the Discord, the Patreon subscribers will get dibs to the Discord video chat, and we can talk about that and all that fun stuff. So I hope that shed a little light on the channel and kind of where we're going and what we want to do. And I appreciate everybody for liking and subscribing. And as always, Mr. Mean says, be nice.